Thursday, February 1st, 1940. The Red Army, commanded by General Semyon Timoshenko, a supporter of the use of tanks, begins a second large-scale offensive against the main defenses of the Mannerheim Line in the area of Suma, where a number of the Finnish bunkers are situated, which the Soviets call the Valley of Death. More than 600,000 infantry are joined by airborne forces that attack the Finnish rear. Groups of 40 bombers attack the Finnish base of Oulu, surprising the fighter pilots, who have no time to take off. The Finnish troops have not received reinforcements and are low on ammunition. Nevertheless, they resist the Soviet onslaught. Stalin claims that the start of this new offensive is due to the Finnish refusal to cede to the Soviet Union the region of Lake Ladoga, which would provide the Russians with an exit to the sea via the river Neva, which flows into the Gulf of Finland. In the Sea War, U-13, commanded by Max Martin Schulte, sinks the Swedish merchantman Fram, and Harold Gerst's U-59 sinks the British ship Ellen M. Friday, February 2nd. Finnish troops entrenched in the Mannerheim Line put up stiff resistance to the first waves of Soviet attackers. In Poland, 2 German soldiers are killed by the resistance in the suburbs of Warsaw. 10 Polish citizens are shot by the SS in reprisal. Meanwhile, General Wilhelm Uleks, who commanded the 10th Artillery Corps in the invasion of Poland, is now in charge of the country's southern frontier, writes to his superior, General Johann Blaskowitz, to express his repugnance at the actions of the SS in the occupied zone. As a German and a soldier, I cannot identify with their cruelties, he says. Blaskowitz sends the letter to Hitler with a list of the crimes committed by the SS. Colonel Rudolf Schmutt, who is responsible for liaison between the Wehrmacht and the High Command of the Armed Forces, OKW, tells the Nazi leader that during a visit to inspect the Westwall barracks, he met with General Erich von Manstein, who strongly defended his strategy for an attack on France via Sedan, crossing the Ardennes. In the Sea War, U-59, commanded by Harold Gerst, sinks the British merchantmen Creofield and Portelet. Saturday, February 3rd. The Soviets encounter stiff resistance in their attack against different sectors of the Mannerheim Line. Stalin and the Soviet High Command are aware that they have underestimated the Finnish army, along with a number of their own officers who have been dismissed, and they ordered General Timoshenko to put an end to the resistance of the exhausted Finnish troops as soon as possible. Joseph Goebbels, the Reich propaganda minister, invites a group of foreign journalists to his residence in Schwernerwerder in the suburbs of Berlin. Being one of Hitler's closest followers, some of the guests question him about when the invasion of the West will take place. Goebbels replies, "We have had 5 months without war. Only Hitler knows if it will start again." President Roosevelt urges actor-director Charlie Chaplin to finish shooting The Great Dictator as soon as possible. In the Sea War, U-25, commanded by Victor Schultz, sinks the British merchant ship Armanistan, and Herbert Kupish's U-58 sinks the Reet from Estonia. The Royal Navy loses the minesweeper Shinx, bombed by the Luftwaffe planes. Sunday, February 4th. In the Winter War, Soviet planes bomb more than 100 Finnish cities, as well as roads, railway lines, bridges, and ports. The Finnish government orders children and old people to be evacuated from Helsinki and other towns and cities to safer areas. The British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain and the First Lord of the Admiralty, Winston Churchill, traveled to France to participate in a meeting of the Allied Military Council. Since the start of the war, 4 British divisions of the Expeditionary Corps have been positioned along the Franco-Belgian border. Churchill is concerned about the ability of General Gamelin to lead the Allied troops, and worried about the growth of communism and fascism in France itself. In Berlin, Erich von Manstein, chief of the General Staff of Army Group A, sends to the OKH, Army High Command, with the approval of his superior, General Karl Gerhard von Rundstedt, his alternative plan for the invasion of the West. Arguments, suspicions, and jealousies are rife among the OKH, and there is opposition to making important changes to the original plans. The arguments reach such a pitch that von Manstein, the greatest strategic mind of the Third Reich, who hopes to lead an armored corps, is demoted to an infantry command. In the Battle of the Atlantic, U-37, commanded by Werner Hartmann, sinks the Norwegian merchant ship Hope and the British merchantman Leo Dawson. Monday, February 5th. Mahatma Gandhi meets with the British Governor-General of India, Victor John Hope, Marquis of Linlithgow. The Indian politician, author of the essay Civil Disobedience, informs the British official that he does not support the idea of his country fighting in a war for freedom when it is under British rule. In Paris, the Supreme Allied War Council officially decides to support Finland in its struggle against the Soviet Union. The British Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, announces that in order to avoid Finland disappearing from the map, the Allies will send soldiers, arms, planes, and artillery using Norwegian ports for the disembarkations, as long as the Norwegian government gives authorization. The date set for carrying out the operation is March 20th. But the Finnish government, convinced that Allied help will never arrive, believes the decision taken in France only serves as a cover for military actions in Norway and Sweden. In the Sea War, to replace the numerous losses of ships in the British Merchant Navy, the government is forced to acquire old ships at low prices from the United States. The German submarines give no respite. U-41, commanded by Gustav Adolf Mugler, attacks a convoy to the south of Ireland, heading for Britain. Its torpedoes sink the enormous Canadian cargo ship Beaverburn and the Dutch Saronia, but one of the escort ships, the Royal Navy's Antelope, detects and sinks the submarine with its 49 crew members. Tuesday, February 6th. As the Finnish government expected, on the second day of their meeting, the members of the Allied Supreme War Council agree on the disembarkation of troops in the Norwegian ports of Narvik, Stavanger, Bergen, and Trondheim. Besides occupying these strategic points, the intention is to occupy the iron ore mines of Gällivare in Sweden. The French are to contribute 35,000 men, and the British 100,000. Everything depends on Finland officially requesting help, and Norway and Sweden ending their neutrality and allowing the troops to pass through their territory. Meanwhile, the Soviet offensive continues in Finland. Russian planes heavily bomb the large Finnish cities, while the Red Army continues to receive reinforcements. In an attempt to end the war, the Finnish foreign minister, the Social Democrat Väinö Tanner, meets the Soviet ambassador in Stockholm, Sweden. For Churchill, one of the biggest problems of the war is the threat posed by the German submarines in the Battle of the Atlantic. The repeated successes of the U-boats have surprised the British Navy, which underestimated the danger of submarines and now orders a news blackout on radio broadcasts.